Do you sometimes feel so drained either mentally, physically, or emotionally when you want to pray, that even lifting a prayer feels impossible? If it's a yes, then you're not alone. Many of us have moments where the weight of life seems too heavy to bring to God. But here's the good news. God understands, and He is closer than you think, even in your silence. One would ask, what causes this weariness in prayer? Well, there are quite some causes for this. It could be the stress of daily life, unanswered prayers that have left you discouraged, or even feelings of guilt or unworthiness. Sometimes, it's the overwhelming pressure to say the right words in prayer that holds us back. Whatever the cause, these moments of exhaustion should not separate you from God's love. They should actually draw Him nearer to you. Stay with me, because in this video, we'll explore how you can reconnect with God, even when you feel tired to pray. By the end, you'll realize that even your weakest moments can become a gateway to God's strength. Here are some ways that will help us connect with God in those moments we feel tired to pray. 1. Acknowledging our weariness. There's no shame in admitting when we feel weary, even in prayer. Life can weigh heavily on us, whether it's the pressure of responsibilities, unfulfilled expectations, or seasons of grief and uncertainty. As humans, we often try to push through on our own strength, thinking that admitting our tiredness is a sign of weakness. But it's quite the opposite. Acknowledging our weariness is an act of humility, a way of saying, God, I need you now more than ever. It's okay to come to God just as we are, regardless of whether we are exhausted, broken, and even unsure of what to say. God invites us to bring our burdens to Him, no matter how overwhelmed we feel. Matthew 11 verse 28 reminds us of Jesus' promise. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. He's not asking for perfect prayers or endless words. He's asking for your heart, just as it is. When we acknowledge our weariness, we take the first step towards surrendering our struggles to the one who can renew our strength and give us the peace we desperately need. 2. Resting in God's presence. When prayer feels like a struggle, we often forget that God's presence is a place of refuge, not a place of performance. Resting in His presence doesn't require the perfect words or long sentences. It's about simply being with Him. In those moments of stillness, God meets us where we are and reminds us that He's near. Think of a weary traveler finding shade under a tree. The traveler doesn't need to do anything to benefit from the shade. They just need to rest. Similarly, when we sit quietly before God, we allow His peace to wash over us. Some methods that really work are listening to some worship songs, listening to Christian-inspired instrumentals, and reading the Bible. Sometimes you'll find the strength to pray after listening to some Christian instrumentals. This is a hack that always works out for me. Psalm 46 verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." This isn't just a call to stop what we're doing, but an invitation to let go of the noise in our minds and allow God to pour His love into us. Resting in His presence reminds us that we're not alone and don't need to carry life's burdens by ourselves. Sometimes, the most powerful prayer is a quiet surrender of simply being in His presence, trusting that He knows the cries of our hearts even when we can't find the words to express them. When you're too tired to speak, let your tears, your sighs, or even your stillness become your prayer. God hears what your heart cannot say audibly. 3. We ought to surrender ourselves to God. Even a simple whisper like, "Lord, I need you," can be a powerful prayer. Remember, God is not measuring your words but your heart. Surrendering to God can feel daunting when life is overwhelming, but it's in surrender that we find freedom. We often try to hold on to control, thinking we can figure things out on our own. But God gently calls us to trust Him with every detail of our lives. Surrendering isn't about giving up. It's about letting go and allowing God to step in. When we trust Him, even in our exhaustion, He promises to provide strength and direction for the path ahead. When we surrender our weariness, we're placing them into the hands of the one who holds the universe yet cares deeply for us. Trusting God transforms our prayer life. It shifts our focus from what we can do to what He can do. And in that trust, we discover His power, peace, and provision. Psalm 34 verse 18 reminds us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." When you're tired, He draws even nearer to you. So, the next time you feel too tired to pray, remember, just showing up in God's presence is enough. He sees your heart, your struggles, and your desire to draw near to Him. Prayer isn't about perfection, it's about connection. And even when you feel weak, His strength is made perfect in you. In summary, when we feel too tired to pray, there are simple but powerful steps we can take to reconnect with God. We can start by listening to soothing Christian instrumentals or worship music, allowing the melodies to stir our hearts toward Him. Try reading a favorite Bible passage during such moments. Even a single verse can breathe life into your weary soul and remind you of His unwavering promises. Another idea is to write down your thoughts or prayers in a journal. This is a beautiful way to pour out your heart when words feel hard to speak. Sometimes, just sitting quietly and reflecting on God's love is enough to bring a sense of peace. Even short, honest prayers like, "Lord, I need you," can open the door to His presence. And finally, take some rest. Take some time to sleep and schedule another time to pray. When you feel tired, remember to get some sleep and allow your body to recover. Rest is a gift from God, and even God Himself took time to rest after the creation. So give yourself permission and time to recharge and face a new day with renewed energy and focus. Let's commit to applying these simple acts in our lives and remember that even in our weakness, God is always near. As we conclude, we'd love to know what you will try the next time you feel too tired to pray. Will it be taking a moment to rest, listening to worship music, or diving into a comforting Bible verse? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, we urge you to share it with someone who might need it today. Don't forget to subscribe for more inspiration and leave a comment if you'd like us to pray for you. Remember, it's okay to rest, recharge, and come back to prayer with a renewed spirit. Stay strong in your faith, and always remember that God is with you every step of the way. See you in the next video.